Blaze again with Blaze Handcrafted Woodworks. So I'm getting ready to make a garbage can slide out jar thing, whatever you want to call it, trash pull, that's what I call them. So what I did is I took my opening, which was 18, and I took off 1 11/16 off of that, which puts me at 16 5/16. And then when you add the 2 5/8 inch pieces, that works with under mount drawer slides. If I was using side mount, it'd be a different formula. But if you're using 5/8 inch material, whatever your hole opening is, you take off 1 11/16, and every time it'll be perfect. I pretty much make one of these for, well, almost every kitchen I do. I won't say every kitchen. So I made a pattern. I used to, every time, get my radiuses and cut this out. And finally one day I was just like, why do I keep doing this? I can just use a piece of 1/4 inch, make a pattern, save it on my wall. I have patterns all over the shop. So anyway, I'm going to trace this out on a piece of wood. I'm going to cut these using the bandsaw. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the line. I'm going to trace it or scribe it. And then when I cut it, I'm going to leave my line. And then I'm going to sand down to my line. And that's how you get things perfect in woodworking, or as close to perfect as you can get. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to make sure that I can get 2 of these out of my pattern. So I'll have 2 sides. The 1 11/16, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but that's actually going to be the part that screws in to the drawer front. So it's going to go like this. And then I have to cut one for in the front, so the sides are going to go on like this, and then there's going to be a little piece that goes across in the front too. And let's go for a ride. Let's check it out. So if you see this big 21 on here, that means we're using 21-inch drawer slides. Undermount drawer slides come in increments of 3, so you can have 15-inch drawer slides, 18-inch drawer slides, 21-inch drawer slides. Standard cabinet depth is 24 inches, so you don't want slides that are 24 inches because there's stuff on the inside. Like, you don't really have 24 inches to the inside. That's the outside diameter. So anyway, since this is going to be 21 this way, I'm going to rip a piece of scrap that I have to 21, and then I'm going to trace out both of the sides. I'll go to the bandsaw, I'll cut it out, I'll sand to my line like I explained. I'll put it together, put the clips on it, all that good stuff, and we'll be rocking and rolling. So I got my lines drawn, now I just gotta get the bandsaw and cut it out. So this is the bandsaw that I'm gonna cut my 2 sides out with. If you don't know what a bandsaw is, you probably aren't watching my videos anyway, but I'll put it on a time lapse and I'll cut them out so you don't have to sit there and watch me do all that. And then I'll move over here to my sander and I'll sand to my line like I keep saying over and over. Hopefully it'll make sense in a little while. Okay, I'm not gonna bore you with watching me cut both of them out, but if you can see my line, you can see how I got pretty close, reasonably close to it, but I left my line. And that way, when I go to my edge sander, I can sand to my line and it's gonna be perfect. It better be. It's filming. Okay, so this is what I meant by sanding to my line. If you see this is kind of jagged, but the sander is going to smooth all that out and it's going to make both sides essentially exactly the same. That's good. I just want to show what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like once you sand it. If you feel anything that feels like it's not smooth, you can keep sanding, but it's really smooth. So we're good with this one. I'm just going to do the other side. So the way to check to see if you know what you're doing is you put the two pieces together, and if they line up like this, then you did a good job. So what we're doing right now, or what I'm doing right now, is running the dados for the bottom to slide into. That way it's entrapped inside of it and it's much stronger. You could probably stand in it if you wanted to. What's very important right now is you got a right and a left. You can't do two rights or you got to cut another piece. You messed up if you did that. So I got to figure this out. So one's going to go this way and one's going to go this way. And then I'll have a right and a left. Crap, I just messed up. So I guess I was trying to go too fast and I was too worried about the video, but I messed up. The dado wasn't supposed to go this way, it was supposed to go down here. So I gotta go remake one of these. No big deal. It happens. I'm over it. So I got my other piece made. It only took me about 5 minutes. One thing I should mention here is if you're impatient or you get aggravated, woodworking might not be the thing for you because mistakes just happen. It's a lot to think about. So anyway, I got them both made. I'm gonna go ahead and run my dado on both of them for my drawer bottom. Again, making sure that one's a right and one's a left. And then I will be done. And I'm looking for stuff like this. Like this will never be seen unless it's on the outside. So I'm gonna make sure this one's on the inside, and I'm making sure this time that I'm running it the right way on the bottom instead of up the back. I don't know how I did that, I was just going too fast. So this one will go this way, so this one has to go the opposite. So I'm just laying that out now. So yeah, that's both the bottoms. Front and back that also needed 8.0. Okay, that's my 4 pieces, the front, the back, the 2 sides. And now I gotta cut my 1/4 inch bottom.
What size?
Sides 21 inches.
And what kind of room?
Yeah. Okay, can I get all my pieces? And I'll put it together real quick. Always use glue when you're putting 2 pieces of wood together. Make sure your dados are at the bottom, which mine are, and just put it together. I'm using 1.25" staples. When you're shooting staples at the bottom, don't shoot them so low that they get into your dado, because then when you go to slide your bottom in, it'll scratch up your drawer bottom. Mark, do we have any of those little shelf caps made?
Little what?
Shelf caps that we put on our drawers. I mean drawer caps, not shelf caps.
Where would they be?
I don't know, usually they're over there somewhere.
Unless this is some.
Okay, no big deal. I can trim it out later. Okay. now I just gotta slide my bottom in. Just like that. And staple this. Where's the little stapler? Okay, let's see. I like to use a lot of staples just to make sure this doesn't come off here. Here it can't come out because it's entrapped inside of here because I made a dado. But anyway, that's what the trash can slide out looks like. I always trim mine by putting a little small piece of lumber here, here, and here. I don't really worry about this because I'd have to make something super thin to follow that curve. So I usually just hit this with my orbital sander and break the edges. But we'll show you what it looks like in the cabinet in a minute. Okay, what I just did is I trimmed this out so that you couldn't see the plywood edges. And I did the same down here. So now we're getting ready to put the clips on, then we're gonna put it in the cabinet and show you how it works. Okay, so we just put the clips on. We drilled our little hole on this side and this side that the counterpart in the cabinet references off of. Something sticks in here and locks it in place, and then the clips lock in the front. So we'll go show you how it works. So there's the cabinet it's gone in. There's gonna be drawers on the right hand side, but I just wanted to make a video on how to make a trash can pull out. So I'm gonna put that on. And just like that, there's your trash can slide out. A lot of people make them square. I just think that's ugly. There's a substantial piece up here, so when you pull it, even if you pull hard, the trash isn't gonna fall forward. So anyway, I know I do mine a little differently than most of the homes I've been in, where it's a big square box. This just adds a little style, I think. That's good, thanks for watching. One more thing I forgot to mention, to put these pieces on, what I used is a pin nailer. So if I back the camera up, I don't even putty them holes. They're so small that you really can't see them unless I zoom like really, really, really close up. I mean, it's smaller than a brad now, it's tiny. But anyway, that's how you build a trash can pull out, or a trash pull, or whatever you call them in your region.